The Senate minority plans to question before the Supreme Court the manner of voting should there be charter change via constituent assembly. Senate Minority Leader Frank Drilon says the opposition is open to questioning this, insisting the Senate and the House of Representatives should vote separately, not jointly. Drilon says voting jointly would render the 23-member Senate useless. He adds the Senate's separate vote is even needed in a legislation as simple as changing the name of a high school. Article 17, Section 1 of the 1987 Constitution states any amendment to or revision may be proposed by Congress upon a vote of 3/4 of all its members or a constitutional convention. The law does not specify the manner of voting. Drilon says, quote, "Where does it say assembly, convening as one body?" He adds, quote, "We are a bicameral Congress and therefore we act separately." Drilon also slams the recent attacks of Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez against the Senate. He says Alvarez is intent on destroying the Senate's credibility, so the public would support the latter's bid for a joint voting. Former Senator Bongbong Marcos on Wednesday says he is not running for senator in 2019. Marcos says he is confident he will win his electoral protest against Vice President Leni Robredo. He filed an electoral protest against Robredo for alleged electoral fraud in the 2016 elections. Marcos says, quote, "Why will I run for senator when I already won as vice president?" He also accuses the Supreme Court, sitting as the Presidential Electoral Tribunal, of unfair treatment in the electoral protest. Marcos calls out Associate Justice Benjamin Caguioa for allegedly making what he called disturbing decisions. Marcos's electoral protest was raffled off to Caguioa. Caguioa served the Aquino administration as Chief Presidential Counsel and Acting Justice Secretary before his appointment to the High Court. Caguioa and Aquino were college classmates. Marcos says he and his legal team are still thinking of how to address his alleged unjust treatment by the SC. He says among their options is to petition the PET to raffle off his electoral protest to another SC justice. Communist Party of the Philippines founding chairman Jose Maria Sison slams presidential spokesperson Harry Roque for spreading fake news he has become a Dutch citizen after decades of exile in the Netherlands. Roque made a statement on Sison's supposed Dutch citizenship in December last year. Sison fled to Europe after peace talks with the administration of Corazon Aquino failed in 1987. The Netherlands eventually granted Sison political refugee status. Sison says the Duterte administration is targeting him, former Bayan Muna Representative Teddy Casino, and Bayan Secretary General Renato Reyes Jr. He says, quote, "My actual residence in the Netherlands is in accordance with my being a recognized political refugee since 1992 and also in accordance with Article 3 of the European Convention on Human Rights." Sison hoped to end his exile under President Rodrigo Duterte, but the negotiations collapsed last year. Last December, Duterte declared the CPP New People's Army as a terrorist organization. The Transportation Department vows to improve MRT-3 services by the second quarter of 2018. DOTR Undersecretary TJ Batan says the MRT-3 is running on 13 to 14 trains per day, below the agency's set minimum of 15 working trains per day. The MRT-3 was plagued by near-daily breakdowns last year. Batan says spare parts needed to rehabilitate trains are expected to arrive in 30 to 60 days, while others will arrive with a lead time of at most 6 months. Detained overseas Filipino worker Mary Jane Veloso has one wish for her 33rd birthday: for the Philippine court to hear her testimony against her traffickers. Veloso, in a recorded message addressed to President Rodrigo Duterte, pleads for a chance to testify in court against her traffickers.
Pangulong Duterte, buong puso po ako humihingi ng tulong sa inyo para payagan akong magtestigo sa kaso ni Cristina Sergio sa Pilipinas para maibunyag ang katotohanan at maparusahan ang taong talagang may kasalanan. Pangulong Duterte, nasa kamay po ninyo ang kaligtasan ng aking buhay. Hindi po ako nawawalan ng pag-asa na makakamtan ko ang katarungan. Kasi kasama ko po ang Diyos sa laban ko ito. At hanggang kailanman, hindi ko po aakuin ang kasalanan hindi ko ginawa.
Veloso is on death row in Indonesia for drug trafficking. She denies the charges, saying she didn't know the drugs were placed in her suitcase. Cases were filed against her traffickers Cristina Serio and Julius Lacanilao at the Nueva Ecija Regional Trial Court in 2015. Since Veloso will not be able to testify, her party filed a motion to take her written testimony answering the court's pre-drafted set of questions to serve as her interrogation. The accused filed a motion opposing the complainant's request, saying that it violates their constitutional rights since she will not be personally confronted and cross-examined. The RTC granted Veloso's request in 2016, but the Court of Appeals reversed the RTC decision, saying the lower court committed grave abuse of discretion.